So in this video, we have a man who admits to being offered $200 a day to protest ICE in New York City, right? And just like everybody else, you know, when you see these protests happening, all right, I know I'm not the only one, right? You wonder like, yo, do these people have jobs? Like they out here every day. Like, do they have nothing better to do with their lives than to just go out here, cause chaos, be out in the streets, hold up their stupid signs, and talk about stuff that they don't understand, right? It makes you think like, yo, like who, like why are these people out there? Like, do they have nothing to do? And of course, it just makes you think that, all right, clearly someone is funding this, right? The money is coming from somewhere. Someone is organizing this to make sure that they're causing so much chaos in the streets, right? With this argument that we're protesting Trump, protesting whatever, and just to be out here just to cause chaos, right? And in this video, this guy talks about it, so we're gonna hear what he has to say, then I'll share my thoughts.
I just got offered $200 a day to go protest ICE in New York. The organization was called No Kings. They said June 14th we're going to be protesting, and these are the streets that you need to be on, and this is what you need to do. You need to cause chaotic disruptions, and they said that there's going to be pallets of like bricks and different things everywhere that protesters could use. They really want to wreak havoc. It's kind of ridiculous. Me as an American, you know, although I need the money, I'm like, this is very, very unpatriotic. If I was to go take this money and go protest, it's not very American. It's not what I stand for. It's obviously not even, you know, worth the time. But, you know, $200 a day is what they're paying people to go protest. The corruption is up here because...
And, you know, he makes a good point because obviously they target people that, you know, obviously need the money, right? These are the easiest people to go after, right? It's people that are desperate for money, that aren't doing anything. So all you got to do is offer them a couple $100 a day and they'll pretty much do anything, right? And that's the sad part because you do take advantage of people that are desperate for money. These are the people that they target. So, I mean, it's not surprising that you can find, you know, a bunch of people. All you need is like one person, like a couple of people. If you, like he says, this Kings things or whatever it is, they just organize a bunch of people, tell them what they need to do, probably give them signs and say, hey, you do these, you're going to get a couple $100 for the day, right? It's easy work. Okay. So it's kind of sad that you see that.
Because it goes way beyond these organizations. They want to destroy America, and you know, people like me that need money are gonna go do it. I'm not gonna go do it, but people are gonna go do it. They're gonna go destroy, you know, the city and cause chaos. It's just crazy that, you know, they're even paying people to go do this. It just goes to show that everything we deal with is corruption, and these people at the top level, like, who's paying for this? There's got to be some billionaires paying for this so that, you know, they could try to get Trump out or something. But, you know, $200 a day to go cause chaos is like crazy. Not worth it, but also like really fucked up.
Exactly, man. Because I think this whole Kings things he was talking about, I'm not sure, but I think I read something on the New York Post where they was talking about who, was it Chrissy Walton or something like that? You know, one of the families of Walmart. She's one of the people that funds one of these protests. I mean, a bunch of these protests. So that's probably not surprising, right? Like, you got a bunch of these rich people, billionaires, that they want the chaos to happen, right? For whatever reason, so they can, you know, probably find a way to get more control, especially while Trump is in office. And it's sad that you got, it's not only do you have to worry about, you know, foreign invaders, but you also have to worry about, you know, people within your own country that are trying to destroy what you have, right? Because of whatever reason. And it's like, and obviously you got a lot of vulnerable people that are willing to do it because, you know, let's be honest, like, you have a lot of miserable people that aren't happy with the way their life is, right? So if you give them a couple $100 to mess things up, that they'll do it, right? Because, you know, if they're not happy, right, they'll just want everything, they want everything around them to burn as well, right? So they don't care what happens to America, right? They don't care about the way of living because they, like, you know, they're unhappy with their life. So they just say, hey, let everything burn and let everything burn and fall. And Look at, man, I think the good thing is that obviously we have we got Donald Trump in there, right? We know that he cares about America, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to protect and make sure he's making sure that he's protecting what America is all about. And obviously it's not only is that important, but obviously when his term is done, we need to make sure another Republican gets in there to make sure you continue that, right? Because just imagine if Kamala would have won, like the amount of destruction we'd have had, more illegals just flooding in the country. Right, we'd have had all types of money printing, welfare going out. Like it would have been a wrap for the United States. So it would have been almost impossible for the United States to recover from that. Right. So the fact that like Trump was able to get in there and make sure he can put, like, and that's why some people support what he's doing right now, because we need this. Right. Like. I don't think people like really understand. Like Trump is going. The reason why Trump is going so hard when it comes to this, because you just let a bunch of illegal immigrants in there, right? You just overwhelm the system with people that don't belong here. So what do you think? What do you think Trump is going to do? Especially the American people, what they voted for him to do, right? He's going to overcorrect and say he's got to go to desperate measures, to extreme measures to make sure he cleans that up. Right, and look, you got tens of millions of people in there. It's going to be very difficult to do that. Obviously, it's going to take us 4 years to actually clean all that up, because it's going to take a long time. And obviously, he has his spending bill to pass, because he needs to get the money for that to support what he's trying to do. So it's going to be a lot of work, right? It's going to be a lot of work, but we got the right guy in place to do that, and it's necessary because it needs to be done. Okay, it needs to be done, right? The way we're so divided in this country, it's not something that's sustainable, right? And the people that want to destroy that know that, right? The more division they can create, the more chaos and destruction they can cause, right? To make sure that we're constantly fighting each other over stupid topics and stuff that don't really matter, but we know it's going to get a rise out of the country. Right, and it's going to create a lot of hate and animosity between each other, and to make sure we're constantly butting heads. Okay, and to see this guy come up and say this, like, I don't think anyone is surprised to hear this, that people are getting paid. I think a lot of people thought this, right? We know this, right? And it's not even 100% sure this is actually true. We could be saying it, but I think for a lot, we know something like this is going on, right? And I think hopefully, like, Trump's administration can eventually find out who the bad actors are, the people that are funding these operations, and find some way to bring these people to justice, right? Because this shouldn't be happening, right? This shouldn't be happening. Like we all know that, and the fact that a lot of these people they talk about these peaceful protests. We all know many of these things are not peaceful. We understand there's some people that aren't doing anything, but a lot of these other ones are. You see the videos out there, the people that are attacking law enforcement. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Right, it shouldn't be. These things shouldn't be happening. Okay, and we gotta do what we can to make sure to protect that. Okay, so obviously good for him that obviously he didn't take that 200 because he cares. But there's a lot of people that just say whatever, that they're gonna do whatever and just take that $200 and say, hey, where's my money? Tell me where they need to be. Where the items I need, so you can tell me what I need to do. And they're gonna go about doing whatever it's necessary to create the chaos and destruction. Okay. So those are my thoughts. Interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Hit the like button, share. And if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe. So you guys take care. Have a good one. Later.